Hello, my fellow Game Warriors. My name is TheGameWarrior, and right now, today you are going to be viewing yet another Mail Monday video. This is a series of mine in which I answer questions from you, the viewer, that you put in the comment section. They can be questions about anything and everything related to me personally, my own likes and interests, or questions related to gaming and entertainment. They can be simple or serious questions, and the ones that I like, I will answer them on Mail Monday, and if by chance I enjoy one of your questions so much, I might even answer that question on its own Final Thought Friday video. So before the end of this video, please feel free to place a comment in the comment section below. That way I would be able to do another video next week for you guys. But for now, on to the questions. The first question here was posted, and it asks, would you like to see Infinity Ward or Treyarch team up with 343 or Bungie to make a game separate of Halo and Call of Duty? And this is actually a pretty interesting question. So before I answer, I'm going to provide a bit of background just in case someone doesn't know who these companies are. Infinity Ward and Treyarch are the people that make Call of Duty, obviously, though. Everyone should know that by now. Infinity Ward is Modern Warfare, the Modern Warfare series, and the upcoming Call of Duty Ghosts. While Treyarch has made World at War and both Black Ops games. I'm not for sure about the first initial few games. Then Bungie were the original Halo creators up until the last Halo we just experienced, and they were the company that is making Destiny. 343 Industries made the last Halo game and is currently in production of the next one. So basically that's just the background for all of those people. But now the question is, would I like to see two of them team up? And I think I absolutely would, but I'd rather the main focus of a game they would create would not be for multiplayer. I think in the multiplayer experience, I think if the two grouped together to make a multiplayer game, then they would clash. I mean, things would not work out too well. The play style of Halo and the play style of Call of Duty are two entirely different things for multiplayer. But personally, I would love Treyarch to team up with Bungie to make a massive zombie game, one different than what we have saw from either of them so far. I think I can safely say that Treyarch has proven that they can make a great zombie experience. The weapons and perks and features they have in place for standalone maps are awesome. And if there is and also there is also a storyline dating back to the World at War game that they had. You know, for all of these zombie maps, a story goes with it. And what I would like to see is for them to break out, break out of the you fight until you die scenario and make a full-fledged campaign for the zombie experience. I'm using the existing characters that they have from the 4 new ones we have, and then the 4 original characters, Richtofen, Dempsey, Takeo, Nikolai. Treyarch has definitely proved that they can make some solid campaigns, but essentially they are used to making limited worlds, and that is where I think Bungie would be great. Bungie is used to making a large open type world experience. For anyone that played on a Halo 2 or Halo 3 map, you know how large of the world that you have to deal with, how many different paths you can take and go to get to a certain place or certain mission. And Bungie could expand the borders of the maps in Black Ops Zombies that we've really came to love, and spread the experience across the world around it, opening us to new areas and features that may have been limited to us because of the single standalone maps. I have a little sniffle right now. But if these two were to come together, I think it would definitely make a great zombie experience. Treyarch would bring the features that they already have in place, and Bungie would just expand on those limits farther than what they Treyarch can do by themselves. We can finally see the 4 initial characters in action doing an actual mission. You can finally get to play as Tank Dempsey in a large, really open world experience, you know, such as something like Red Dead Redemption or something in that sense, and really go on a mission to do the things you were supposedly doing in the maps we've already experienced. Plus, we would get to see a definitive storyline unfold from Treyarch, while Bungie creates the world that you would be playing in. And I think if this were to happen, it'd be absolutely phenomenal. That's just my opinion with that. So on to the next question, and that question is, what was your first experience of video gaming, and what person, dead or alive, would you not like to meet the most? And that is not like. And this one here is a 2-part question, but I never said you couldn't ask more than one. But I'm going to answer the second question first. Which person, dead or alive, would I prefer not to meet? As a person, so basically that means as a person that I never want to see in person. That's a weird way to phrase that. Now, I've actually had to think about this one. Honestly, there's no one I truly wouldn't want to meet, except for, like, mass murderers or Hitler, Genghis Khan, somebody in that realm of people, simply because I'd rather not have them kill me, too. I mean, that's just a given. But I've always been one to believe that, people also should never meet their heroes. Basically, if you look up to someone, admire them, think they're absolutely awesome, then you really should meet them. Now, to me, I'd still like to meet some of the people I think are great. Yeah, I'd like to meet Will Smith, who's personally my favorite actor. I'd like to meet Leonardo DiCaprio or Anthony Hopkins, 2 people I believe that are some of the best actors out there. Then I'd actually like to meet the Syndicate Project, or Tom, or Woody's Gamertag. Even though I think these people are amazing, and that might go against my never see your quote-unquote heroes. I think it would be interesting to actually meet them in person. But then I thought of a few people that I would rather never meet as well. And it's not because I don't like these people, quite the opposite. It's because that I think these people are awesome in what they do, and I wouldn't want to ruin that. And these 3 people I actually came up with are Christopher Eccleston, David Tennant, and Matt Smith. If you don't know who they are, then believe me, that is understandable. But they are 3 actors that have played the Doctor in the Doctor Who, the British television show. Personally, Doctor Who is my favorite TV show over The Walking Dead, over Justified, over Mad Men. I've saw every episode of it at least twice, most 3 times now. And I get an absolute thrill watching these people be the Doctor. And when I personally watch a movie or television show, I absolutely throw myself into the show. I don't talk or text during the movies or anything like that, because when I'm watching it, I am a part of that world, and I'd like to believe it exists. Since Doctor Who is my favorite TV show, and I like to believe that, you know, all of the people on the show actually exist, even though, believe me, I know they don't, I think it would bother me to actually meet the people that portray them in real life, because I'm one that likes to keep the behind-the-scenes stuff behind the scenes, and I think if I were to meet the actor that plays the Doctor, I might be a little disappointed. So that's my personal opinion with that. But now on to the final question. That is, what was your first experience of gaming? For me, my first experience of gaming was definitely a diverse one. From the earliest I can remember actually playing games, I was around probably the age of 5. At that time, my brother owned an Atari, though it was never used around me until around 13 or so, when we went back, found it in a box, and decided to play some classic games on it. But my brother also owned an original Nintendo and a Sega. And some of the first experiences I have of playing games that I can remember were on the Sega. I was always a fan of Sonic. I was never that great at the games, but I always liked Sonic. Then I can vividly remember playing one game with my brother, and sometimes even my grandma, which is, I guess, why the memory is there. Playing a game called Columns for the Sega. It was a game kind of like Tetris, to where you have to line up the same colored shapes before they raise over a certain line, making you lose. And I always played those games and a few other games, but then I actually Finally received my own console when I was probably 6 or 7 years old. I'm at around Christmas time. It was a Super Nintendo. The first 2 games I got for it were a bowling game. I think Tournament of Champions was what it was called. And then I think Super Mario Brothers. It was one of the Mario games. And I don't know. I remember playing them, enjoying them definitely a whole lot. Basically, I've always been around games, and I'm glad that here in a few months I'm going to be around a whole new other console generation. Currently, I think that I've even made up my mind on which console I'm going to buy. But since that is a lengthy topic, I'd make sure you watch my Final Thought Friday video this week to see which one is going to be that I am actually going to buy. Right now, I would like to thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions of your own that you'd like answered, please leave a comment in the comment section below with what the question is, and I might read it in next Mail Monday's video.